Welcome back to Up Front. We have been waiting more than a year now for word from Governor Walker on whether he'll approve a casino in Kenosha. The governor has said his administration is studying the casino and negotiating with the tribes. The Kenosha Casino would be operated by the Menominee Tribe and Hard Rock International. Even though it's not been approved, the Menominee are advertising jobs for it. Recently, the Forest County Potawatomi, which operate a large casino and hotel in Milwaukee, withheld its annual gaming payment to the state, instead putting it in a reserve fund. The tribe says that's because the state could end up owing the tribe money if the governor approves the Kenosha Casino. The Potawatomi remain fiercely opposed to the Kenosha Casino, and we're talking now with their Attorney General, Jeff Crawford. It's good to have you back on the program.
Thank you, Mike.
So is there anything that can resolve this payment dispute other than the governor saying we're not going to build a Kenosha Casino?
It's hard to see a solution in that way. We've taken the position that there will be significant impacts on our casino and Milwaukee if Kenosha goes forward. And based on the statements from the governor and Secretary Hipsch a couple of weeks ago, I think they're finally starting to realize what we have known for several years, that there will be a potential impact of over $100 million a year on our operation and in Milwaukee.
$100 million a year.
Absolutely. I'm quoting their numbers. And I think that's the sort of the upside of this long wait in terms of the state's review of this. They are independently looking at the numbers, and the numbers they're quoting are pretty significant.
How do you negotiate a resolution to this issue? Obviously, your tribe feels strongly that Kenosha Casino would hurt it greatly. There are other people who feel it would be a great economic benefit for people down in the Racine and Kenosha area. How do you resolve this through negotiations?
Well, I think you got to get the facts out on the table, first of all. And the fact of the matter is that we aren't advertising hypothetical jobs. We are a jobs generator and a jobs creator in Milwaukee and have been for years. And we know that if this project goes forward, it'll have an impact on us in Milwaukee by reducing the number of jobs. So there are all kinds of facts like that get brushed aside because the facts are coming from Potawatomi. So we kind of look forward to the independent study telling us what those numbers are.
What do you make of the fact that the Menominee are already advertising, telling people we have jobs, you can apply for jobs at this new casino?
One is from a business perspective. I think it's a bit disingenuous to be advertising hypothetical jobs that may be created 1 to 2 to 3 years down the road. That's creating a false hope for those applicants. And I'm basing it on their construction schedule. If everything went their way, you're still talking about 1 to 2 to 3 years. But from a political perspective, that seems to be the topic of the day, jobs. And so whatever you say, throw jobs in your whatever you do.
Do you think that at the end of the day this casino in Kenosha will be built? What's your gut tell you right now?
I think that if it's built, it has a tremendous potential impact, good or bad, in the state of Wisconsin. Frankly, we think it's going to be bad. And from what the governor has been saying and Secretary Hipsch has been saying, they now realize that this is a high-risk proposition for the state.
High-risk proposition. Does that mean that you now think that there might be a somewhat better chance of it not being built because the governor realizes that there are financial ramifications to the state?
There are significant financial ramifications for the state. And, we thought, I was talking to you about a year ago about this subject, and at the time the governor's policy was out about how he was going to evaluate that proposal. And from our perspective, if he would have followed that policy, it would have been a no-brainer to have rejected it, over a year ago. But that said, they wanted to do the drill down on the study, and I think that's a good idea for the state of Wisconsin. But I think from everything that we are hearing coming out of the governor's office and Secretary Hipsch's office, the potential negative impacts on Potawatomi and the state of Wisconsin are significant.
You're not frustrated by how long this process is taking? You're okay with it?
Well, obviously, you have to, there's good and bad. We think this was a no-brainer, rejected over a year ago. But because of the $100 million or more impact in a negative way that it could have on the state, we understand why the governor needs to be careful about this one.
And you will hang on to that money until this is resolved, is that correct?
I think that, we will follow our compact and the provisions that allow us to, dispute that payment. From our perspective, the state will have to pay us, potentially hundreds of millions of dollars over the years if the Kenosha project goes forward. You've got to remember, when we first did these compacts, there was a budget crisis, and it was in the billions of dollars. And lo and behold, we're now dealing with this again, and there is a budget deficit that they are looking at. Seems to be a pattern.
Jeff Crawford is the Attorney General for the Forest County Potawatomi. It's good to have you back on the program. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
You bet. Has a bitter recount hurt Democrats' chances of picking up a key state Senate seat? I'll be asking candidate Pat Bomhack next on Up Front. But first, here's the WisPolitics Week Ahead.
Marquette Law Poll Director Charles Franklin and Mike Couchet discuss the November election at the WisPolitics.com luncheon Wednesday in Madison.